Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome here to the only podcast with no name. Welcome to the UnNamed Wrestling Podcast. And
Only
the
podcast
very first
with no
moment of this stream might have been Botch Guy saying, "Oh yeah, that's good," when he's rubbing his back with a fork. How you doing today, Botch Guy?
I'm not using it to eat though. Don't worry. But I had an itch on my back, and desperate calls, desperate measures. Is that a thing?
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's definitely desperate measures if you're pulling out the spaghetti fork there to scratch an itch. CWrestling, how's your back doing?
My back is sore AF. It is so freaking sore.
Oh man, dude. Do the people know, or are we keeping that tight to chest?
It's not really known. No.
Okay. Well, CWrestling, I hope your back gets better. My back hurts too.
I
Sitting in
gave
the
him a
chair,
back
man.
massage,
You know,
and I
sitting in the
broke his
chair
back.
just is a really difficult job, isn't it? That's the sore back, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
You know, it's also the reason you have a sore back, because you carry this dang podcast here every single week with your Bray Wyatt talk. Spoilers here. We're going to talk about Bray Wyatt in the future, and I'm sure CWrestling's going to get right into that. But guys, big week we just had in wrestling. Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, gonna happen at the Rumble. And also, let's talk about Brock Lesnar is now the WWE Champion. So, Botch Guy, let's start there. What's your thoughts with Brock winning the title?
Well, it was very unexpected. This is right off the bat. I didn't see it coming at all, but I had a feeling, so I did get a thumbnail ready for it just in case. So I had maybe I expected it just a little bit, just in case, but I don't
Only
know.
one thumbnail?
Actually, I had two made just in case, different situations. I always have like one with Paul Heyman, and then which I actually use for my stream, by the way. But no, what do I think about it? After seeing Monday Night Raw, I'm feeling a lot more interested and confident with it, with the decision, especially how they put over Big E and how they put over Bobby Lashley. So I love that. I thought the match was just awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I thought
8 minutes of chaos, right?
It was just a really, really nice match. I really enjoyed it, from perfectly booked from start to finish. I know no issues at all. And I think Brock is a pretty credible champion and should have some new fans coming. So I'm pretty happy with the result. I'm pretty happy with the direction, and I'm curious what they're going to do now.
Well, it was certainly quite the night at WWE Day 1, or as my hashtag said, WWE Day. CWrestling, what did you think of the win at WWE Day?
Hey, see, before I say it, I had Brock Lesnar return, or Brock Lesnar wins the WWE Championship in 2020. So don't worry, I had also a bunch.
It's the new year. Everyone's the botches in the new year. We know it. I liked it. I thought it was great. Again, yeah, complete shock. And I think, again, seeing Raw and seeing the numbers, the ratings came in earlier, and they're 200K up.
Okay, that's good. So what were they sitting at? Like 1 point?
About 1.5-ish.
Oh, okay. All right. So I didn't realize it was that low. They reached 1.3, eh?
Yeah, at one point, yeah.
Man. Well, that's good to see that the ratings popped up, but 1.5 for Brock Lesnar.
Oh, no, 1.7. It was 1.5.
Okay, gotcha. So they're pushing towards the 2 mil again, but man, 1.7 for Brock, eh? What do you think about that, Botch? I see some faces there.
Wrestling is in the decline, is what I see. Unfortunately, no one wants to say it. No one wants to admit it. But come on, look at these numbers, man. Like, these numbers have been dropping like rocks for so long. And yes, I know SmackDown is still pulling decent numbers, but like, that's with like one of the greatest like storyline with like in history almost, that the Roman Reigns has been doing. So I unfortunately, I do feel like wrestling now, they could get a big resurgence, but we thought the resurgence would happen when the crowd came back.
Mm-hmm.
Never happened. So like, it happened, but you know, a little bit, right?
Yeah. And I guess we're still not completely out of the clear with all of this.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
But we're not in the Thunderdome anymore, right? No. Like, there is crowds,
there's live fans,
and there's live fans, and the buildings are not selling out, even though they're saying they're selling out. There's people taking pictures, and it's not just there. AEW is struggling with this as well. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Interesting for sure. I do wonder about wrestling. You know, I don't think that it's it's not dying out or anything. It's just getting pushed across so many platforms now that it's just like, I don't know.
Well,
I
you're
feel
onto
like,
something. You're onto something. YouTube numbers are up pretty much. Like, like you can watch any video and they'll be between 200,000 to 2 mil, right? Generally speaking, for WWE.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's pretty solid numbers for a pandemic era when the fans really fell out of the business for a while. So it's not like the numbers are dead on social media, but they're definitely dying on TV. Do you think this is part because we just consume content in a different way?
Yeah, I think that definitely has to do with it. People are streaming, and like, I don't know if those numbers count, but like people are like, I know people that stream, just watch it on stream, right? And people don't watch it on WWE. Can't you watch it on WWE Network?
No, you can't.
Right?
I think you can watch it like
Four
a week
weeks
after?
later.
4 weeks?
4
Okay.
weeks later.
Okay.
Okay, but like I know people are, you can still stream it on, like, I know on TSN you can stream, or not TSN,
Sportsnet.
no, do you know what? I might be talking out of my ass. Can you stream WWE Raw and SmackDown?
Yeah, so you go to Sportsnet now in Ontario. I'm not sure if it's in BC. I'm not sure if it's Canada-wide, but I know here in Ontario, you go to this thing called Sportsnet Now, and you can watch it on
in
there.
Canada you can. Can you do it in the States? That's the big question.
I think no, I don't actually know. Hang on. That's a good question for the live chat. Anybody in the chat who is in America, can you stream like through an actual provider WWE? Let us know. Yes or no in the
on
chat.
Fox or on USA or something.
Yeah, where do you watch it?
I know they have like on-demand services where you can watch it like on an app, and they also have Raw is available on YouTube TV, and it's available on Hulu, I believe.
Okay, is it available live or a recording?
YouTube TV's live. Hulu, I don't know about.
And YouTube TV is pretty damn pricey, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Fox Now, I think someone says, and some people say no.
Okay, well, interesting. If anybody ever finds a way, let us know, and we'll definitely fill the people in. But yeah, we're watching content in a different way. CWrestling, what's it like over in the UK for watching content?
Oh, it's crap. It's the time of the day. Time of the day here. When we get a WWE show, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. So it's on like a streaming service of BT Sport, which is available on TV, but you've got to pay for an extra package and all this stuff. So it's sort of hidden away, but it's on at early hours of the morning. The numbers here have never been great for anything wrestling.
Right. And that's probably part of the reason why WWE feels the need to not go over there very often, even though you've got a rabid fan base in the UK.
Yeah, I think so. I think we kind of got screwed like that because I think there's a lot of people in the UK who record the shows. And when you then record the shows like a DVR, if you DVR them in America or the UK, if you don't watch it within 24 hours, your number doesn't count towards the ratings. And you could watch them 4 days later. You still watch the show, but it doesn't count in that number. So
Gotcha. So do they have like week-long numbers, or is it only... I don't really know how the ratings work.
The ratings will come out probably once a month, and they'll just break it all down.
Gotcha.
Work out averages.
Gotcha. Well, certainly a different way that we're consuming content. But back to the point we were talking about beforehand, Brock Lesnar only pulling in the 1.7 rating. So was there a need to pull the title off of Big E? What do you think? Let's start with you, CWrestling.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's the fairy tale. Yes, he won the championship, but it's the typical, what do you do with a babyface when they're the champion? It's so hard to book. And they didn't get Big E right at all.
Well, I disagree with that. I think they got Big E very right. I think his title reign was nothing short of entertaining. Botch Guy, what's your thoughts with Big E's title reign?
Wow, I actually disagree completely with CWrestling. No, I think he's way off the ball on this one, buddy. I'll say this: Big E, my perception of him has completely flipped from going just a tag. Like, I always knew that he could be a singles guy, but to be a credible singles guy, I never thought he would actually reach that stage. And I think it helps when you have guys like Paul Heyman literally say not a bad word about him. And it helps when you see like all the emotional reaction that he does get. And it helps when Big E cuts a promo like he cut that promo. My Lord, that was the promo of promos for him. And that's going to go down as his greatest promo of all time, I think. And honestly, I just feel like his shine is honestly higher than he's ever had in his career. I think he's credible, and I think they did him justice.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you, Botch Guy. And I know a lot of people are going to point out what was memorable from his title reign, what was the best moment in all this. And, you know, it might be difficult to truly pinpoint the best moments that he's had. He's had a good run for sure, and it's elevated his star. Do I think he's got a chance at winning the WWE title again in the future? Yes. I don't think this is the end of Big E in the main event scene, which to me makes his first title reign a success. You look at some people, they win the title and they get dropped right back down the card. Sure, he could follow suit, but I feel like they're going to put him over. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he faces Goldberg at WrestleMania. Like, that's the level he's at.
See, help us.
I want to jump in. I want to say, Botch Guy, everything you just said that makes Big E's title reign good happened after his title reign. I think the difference is when he was the champion, they made him look weak to people like Austin Theory. If Seth and Owens wasn't at ringside, Austin Theory would have beat him. Roman Reigns, he didn't stand a chance. We all know it. And I don't think he had that big match as champion that really stood out, that really, as Con said, there wasn't that pinpoint moment that made you go, this is the guy. And I think he can get there. I think that what they did on Raw was genius because it makes him out to be better than what they probably booked him as champion for the last month or so. But I also believe when a babyface is champion, WWE don't know how to keep them elevated. I think they know how to get that babyface to chase the championship.
Yep.
They don't know what to do with them when they are the champion.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Point. Excellent.
That's fair. I agree with a lot of what you said. Actually, I have to think back, but I will say this. I never thought he was a guy that needed to have that big moment with the title to be considered credible. He just needed consistency. He needed people to give a crap about him, and
people gave a crap.
People cared. People cared from the very beginning of his run to the very end of his run. And I know maybe he didn't have that big outstanding moment with the title. He sure had it after he lost it.
Look at the outpouring of support, right?
Because of the balanced booking, I would say, with him, and the fact that he held it for a decent amount of time, and he was going against some pretty big names, and along the way. I truly believe that it has elevated him. And, you know, now with after the run, and then you had that promo and Paul Heyman putting him over, I think he's actually just from those two things has reached another level.
Absolutely.
So I agree with that.
Yeah. So,
like
takes.
Big E, he started out here, like, you know, when he got the WWE title, and he finished up here. So there's more room to grow, no doubt about that. But his star definitely rose, and so let's go back to this here. So we're gonna start to go towards WrestleMania season and then we'll get back to Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar in just a moment. But going into WrestleMania season, there is a couple potential matches for Big E. We mentioned Goldberg. Is there anybody else you would like to see him face, or should it just be Goldberg?
Anybody but Goldberg.
Anybody but Goldberg, eh? So I agree in title matches. Let's think back to Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg. Did you like that one or not?
You can't nitpick, okay? You can't be like, wow, he had one good match, like, ever, okay? Like, no. A Goldberg Big E match. I get it when you're saying, like, I get it with the whole, having a heel Goldberg would be interesting, just because he is, like, trying to be a badass or whatever. It would kind of fit him a little bit more than being a babyface, in my opinion. Right. So I guess it would kind of work, but I just the guy can't wrestle. And if that match is as bad as I'm thinking in my head, because there's no way Goldberg's going to strike gold twice. And they had to book him. Like, that was a great booked match. Like, they booked him to, like, perfection. Like, that is what a Goldberg match has to be booked like. How are you going to do that with Big E? It's just not gonna. I don't think it's gonna work. Big E. I don't like it. I don't like the Goldberg matchup. See, what do you think?
I personally think it's a great idea.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I think we all know Goldberg's got one match left. He said it. There's one match and he's done. He's retiring. He's gone for good. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
As long as that's true. If you have Big E be the person to rid the universe of Goldberg, that's great. I think a lot of people would love that.
Yeah, where Big E in the future is going to be like in his legend years, and then freaking Gage Goldberg or whatever his name is going to come out there and just is going to do the job for him. That's going to be right around full circle, man.
You want the match just so he retires them. Great.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's motivation. That's what we know is going to happen.
Heck
one
yeah.
match is all he's got left.
Yep, one match. Get out of here, Goldberg.
Or, Goldberg can beat the Fiend again.
No!
AKA,
come on.
AKA
it's a new year. Why'd you have to start that off?
Sometimes?
I know, right? See wrestling. We did it a couple times. Let's do it again.
I still think Goldberg has some left in the tank. Let's have him beat Big E and completely destroy him.
Oh my God. All right. This is exactly how Vinnie Mac thinks. Botch Guy, what you just said. Exactly how he thinks. He's got a little bit left in the tank. God damn it, pal. Let's get him out there for one more match.
Have a redemption match. We can have Goldberg versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Oh. There you go.
You know what? Let's just do it. Let's do it.
Well, it's in Texas, isn't it? So
everything's always bigger in Texas.
Old match.
Old versus old match.
Winner gets a pension plan.
Can they not bring back Goldberg for Mania?
Oh my God, let's do it. Goldberg versus Goldberg.
Let's
have Goldberg win after all these years. He wins the war.
Goldberg versus Hornswoggle, have we?
I don't think so. Oh man, that just made me think of the WLC match. Do you remember that one?
One of the greatest matches in WWE history, and everybody played it off like such a joke. And then they had that match, and they're like, "Wow,
it was
fantastic.
Was
so good."
It was what was it? It was 3MB versus Los Matadores, right?
Yeah, so good.
Good Lord.
I remember Drew McIntyre for no reason jumping over the ropes and hitting himself into the table for no reason because the camera angle was so bad on it. And he just it looked like he just jumped on the table for fun.
He probably did. Same table that he put his sword through, or a different one?
Oh my God, don't talk about that stupid sword, man.
Well, you know what we should talk about? Let's talk about Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar now. So the match that is actually going down at the Royal Rumble. So if we wanted to try to take a look ahead to WrestleMania, we might get an idea what the card is. But do you think Bobby Lashley could throw a wrench in the plans? Does he have a chance at winning the WWE title? Start with CWrestling.
He's got a chance. Of course he's got a chance. Do I think he's going to? No. It's a good sign, though. Like, WWE had to change those plans literally an hour before the show, and they were good. So, fair play to them.
Sorry, just distracted by the live chat. You fools in the chat. Botch Guy, what are your thoughts here with Bobby Lashley versus Brock?
Bobby Lashley versus Brock. Is that what we're talking about? Sorry, I'm distracted by the chat as well.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley versus Brock. Does Bobby have a chance, do you think?
No. There is, I think, less... Well, there's always a chance of the WWE, but I think there's like a very, very... Okay. Are you talking about just this match, or do you mean like...
this Royal Rumble match. Yeah, okay, one-on-one WWE title.
I'll say this. If The Rock comes back at WrestleMania, or the road to WrestleMania, and it's Reigns versus The Rock, then I'll say yes. He does have a shot. I'm not saying he's going to win, but you can have your favorite, a DQ finish or something stupid like that. Oh my God,
no, don't even.
And then, by the way, Bobby versus a baby pig is trending right now. He's just spamming it in chat.
One person now means trending.
That's the joke. Well, that's how people start things to trend, by the way, actually. It's just a bot.
Okay, let's just all spam Conman167 then. Let's see what happens. Oh crap! I'm gonna regret that. Okay, back to you.
Here we go. Everybody in chat. Yeah. So if that's the case, if The Rock is gonna come back this year, then I would say he has a chance to at least extend a feud and maybe do and have a win at WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar. But I don't think he's winning Royal Rumble. That makes no sense. Brock just won the title.
Yeah. CWrestling, so he mentioned The Rock coming back. What do you think? Is he going to come back this year, or do you think that's saved for another time if it ever happens?
I think it's next year. I don't see it being this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's in Hollywood next year, right? Like
Yeah,
Rock versus Roman, Rock versus Roman for maybe a championship, maybe no title on the line. Like that's huge in Hollywood.
Why not do the unthinkable? Have Roman Reigns versus Brock at WrestleMania. Have Roman Reigns win, unifying the titles.
All right.
And then holding that title the entire time, all the way to WrestleMania.
Yes,
and
Botch
then
Guy.
You have WrestleMania.
Yes, Botch Guy.
The Rock, the People's Champion versus Roman Reigns for that unification title that's been held for 2 years, basically.
Yes. So let me one up you there, Botch Guy. Ever. So how do we get to that match? How do we legitimately get to the unification match? Well, since there's nobody really pegged to win the men's Royal Rumble this year, what about the idea of Roman Reigns coming back at the 30th spot and winning his chance to WrestleMania for a unification match? Would either of you like to see something like that?
Hell yes.
That'd be cool. I want to see The Rock win Royal Rumble.
I would wait all the way through till Mania and have Paul Heyman turn on Brock Lesnar, side with Roman.
Yeah, exactly.
Back with Roman.
Yep.
Say bye-bye to Brock for a while. Sorted.
Yep, there we go. I would love to see that. Roman, I'm not going to sit here and speculate about the timing of COVID or anything. Obviously, we're wishing him the best and everyone, but I know the rumors are going around online, and it is very convenient all of a sudden that Roman is out for the Royal Rumble. So we'll wait and see. I'm not speculating at all on that, but we will wait and see if he is maybe going to come back for the Rumble in time to go to Mania.
But here's my speculation that I'm thinking.
I have to address the rumors. It's not mine. I didn't make it up.
I never heard these rumors. I think you made up the rumors, but okay. Continue.
Hey, now it's just clickability. It's just clickability.
They have speculated that Roman's going to be on SmackDown this week, though, haven't they?
They have, yes. So
I wonder if they're just waiting for him to come back and hoping he'll be back for Friday, and hopefully, if not, the Friday after, they're just hoping. So
yeah, and makes you wonder he could also be back with like a backstage promo or something like that was recorded from home if he's not good to go. So we are talking about WrestleMania then. So let's say we do go on to WrestleMania and we do get Rock versus Roman. We heard Botch Guy's thought process of him winning the unified titles and holding it on for a whole year till he goes on to face The Rock the next year. CWrestling, what's your thoughts with Rock versus Roman, possibly title versus title?
I think it's as big as... I think it could be up there with like Hogan Rock. If it's booked right, I think it could be one of those iconic matches. I really think it's this era's like Stone Cold, isn't it? Like Roman Reigns is that guy. And I think if you can book this right, you just got money being printed.
Yep. 100% agree. Yeah, this is the way to go. If you want to put on the biggest match possible at WrestleMania with the best story being told in the main event, you play out this Paul Heyman in the middle of Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. You put a title on each of their shoulders. You unify the titles. Oh, that is huge. Or you don't even have to unify the titles if that's not what you want to do. Just have Roman defend both titles. I think that could be really fun as well.
Wait. What if you unify the titles? Then like, what the hell is going to happen to like one of the shows? Like,
so you're asking the great questions, Botch Guy. I believe a little bit ago there was rumors of Vince wanting to put an end to the brand split. Not entirely, but have more wrestlers be able to travel back and forth from shows so that more stars would appear on both shows. This could be the first step to it. He might want Roman on both shows.
We've had an undisputed champion before, and that was like back in the original brand split. And they just went between both shows, and it was whoever won whichever match on the pay-per-view. There's a reason to do cross-branded matches to crown the number one contender and whatever. Like, it's open. There's some good things that can come from it. So
absolutely,
I don't think we need the brand split anymore. It didn't really do anything to. Oh, well, it did something for Reigns for sure because he did put SmackDown on the map, no doubt. But I really wonder what Fox will think. You know, I know it sounds great. I'll have them both shows, but it's they paid money to
you know
have
what,
Roman
though?
Reigns.
I bet you they'll be just as happy receiving people like Randy Orton, Becky Lynch, and the list will keep going on and on, right?
That's true.
Yeah, they'd both benefit. It'd just be up to WWE not to fall into the same pit of needing, like, you should have Raw stories still, and you should have SmackDown stories, and then you should have your main story that kind of covers both shows. They can't fall into the same pit of just like rehashing stories every week and then using SmackDown as like a replay show of Raw, right? That's what they used to do.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a new champion inside of WWE, Braun Breaker. What a name, right, Botch Guy?
Yeah, it's, in my opinion, let me clarify this before you guys NXT cancel culture me. I like Braun Breaker, the person, okay? The wrestler, the gimmick even is fine. Braun Breaker, the name, is the worst name you could possibly have for a wrestler. Like, I told my wife, hey, honey, what do you think about this guy? And he's like, oh, he's super good looking, handsome, strong looking guy. And I'm like, his name, you want to know his name? She's like, sure. And I'm like, it's Braun Breaker. And she's like, what is it? Like some sort of like rejected anime name or something? Like, what's going on? Like Braun, and it has 2 Ks in it as well, like for no reason. Like, there's like no other Braun Breakers out there, and like let's put 2 Ks in it, you know? That's a Vince McMahon type thing. He should be called Braunsteiner, okay? That's should be his name. Braunsteiner sounds sick, you know. It makes him his legacy. So that's what I think about that. His name. Now, him as a wrestler, he looks good, man. He looks like a guy that they want to have on the main event scene and on the main roster ASAP. I think he's ready already.
Mm-hmm.
He's ready. The guy's ready. Like, the guy looks like an absolute monster. But obviously they're going to develop him a little bit more down there. So I'll tell you another terrible name, Von Wagner. That's another really awful name. And
ever since you said he looks like the most generic creative superstar ever, like
he does.
He does.
He's not just him. The guy who looks like you. The what's his name? Chase. Like, his name is good, but then he looks like
Andre Chase. Is that what? Yeah.
Was it Andre Chase, the guy with the university or whatever?
Yeah. Chase U. Yeah.
He looks like a CMU character, like a character you could
I love it. I'm gonna create a Botch U now, and it's just gonna be Botch Guy.
So funny. NXT looks good though, man. I think they're doing some really good stuff, but man, their naming of some of these names are just something special, man. No joke.
Yeah, well, we found out today, actually, I found out today from CWrestling why he can't be called Steiner. So what's the whole reason for that again, C?
So it's Scott Steiner that owns the name to the rights to the Steiner name. Their real name is obviously Rex Steiner. So they can't use Rex Steiner because he owns that. And it's all complicated, but basically Scott owns it. He doesn't get on with Vince or Triple H, so he wouldn't let them use it. And
Big Papa Pump wants to get paid.
He does. He wanted a lot of money for that.
What'd you say? 5
Wait,
mil?
so he owns
It's something
Steiner?
like 5 million.
Wow.
Pardon?
He owns the word Steiner?
Yes.
Pay him the money, man. Make him Braun Steiner.
It's not worth it, man.
It's worth it. You got to change his name.
Let's create a GoFundMe. Let's create a GoFundMe. Let's get the name Steiner. How about that? You guys got a casual 5 mil to throw around?
I don't think he's gonna ask for 5. I think it's like 5 mil to start off. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Here, give me a couple $1 million.
And then a couple of extra royalties every time you say the name.
$1 million and some other things on the side, and done and done. You call him Braun Steiner, and everybody's happy.
Well, we will see if they ever end up doing that. I say if Vince truly sees money in him, they probably should invest the money into him. But right now he's still a little green. I bet you this NXT title run is a test run to see if he is actually world championship material, right? Especially because Vince is so heavily involved with NXT. But, Botch Guy, you were mentioning that you're a fan of NXT right now, what they're doing with the product. CWrestling, are you a fan of the product right now?
Yeah, last night I actually found myself, I think for the first time in a while, thinking NXT right now is my favorite wrestling show.
Wow.
And I haven't thought that for a while, including back when it was gold, like black and gold, for weeks before that, like before it ended. I think right now the characters they've developed are cool. I like Joe Gacy. I love what they're doing with Haaland. Von Wagner, no, don't give a damn. But like Grayson Waller, like who would have thought like 3 weeks ago I would have cared about Grayson Waller?
Yeah. Yeah, that
And
stuff
right
with
now
Gargano.
he's one of the biggest things there. It's perfect.
Yeah, the heel turn, I mean, he was heel, but the true turn on Gargano and then getting involved with AJ Styles, showing up on Monday Night Raw. Grayson Waller has come out of nowhere, and he actually has a character that will probably work really well, both in NXT and on the main roster. But I agree, dude. NXT has gotten better. I cannot say it's been my favorite wrestling show for a little bit now. I just have too much previous investment in the black and gold brand where this still stings. The colors still just don't quite sit right. The new characters winning over the old beloved characters like Tommaso Ciampa still doesn't quite sit right, but that's the mark in me. I'm sure I'll get used to it eventually. But
what did you think last night when Bron Breakker came out and he kicked that gold X, breaking the X in half?
It was totally the end of the black and gold era is what it was. Yeah. Straight up, he ended the NXT Black and Gold era last night.
I thought that was funny.
His dad it's a shot at Triple H too. Von Wagner, just quickly. I love. Okay, so like Harland, I think they should have done what Von did with Harland, have him attack everybody in the crowd. Just because I don't think Von Wagner is anything special at all, and so you have Harland doing it. Also fits his character too, right? Someone talks crap about whatever. Was it Joe Gacy? And then he would just flip on the crowd or something. I would like that. I think that would have been better than having Von, because that was a cool spot.
It was a cool spot. Really yeah, it's just freaking Von Wagner is the guy doing it.
And then someone just said like Von Wagner is terrible on the mic. I don't think he's terrible on the mic.
He was,
but he has a lisp, right?
Well, it doesn't make him any better on the mic. I think of Jack Swagger.
Botch, have you watched NXT from last night?
Yeah, I watched the whole show.
Did you watch Von's promo?
Yeah, it wasn't great, but I thought it was more because people are like, a lot of people were making fun of his kind of slurring of his words because he has like some sort of like he has it, right? I'm not.
No, he definitely does. It doesn't make his promo any better.
Lisp, right?
Yeah,
he spoke for 3 minutes and basically said nothing.
Yeah, he's generic. He's a generic guy. He's a generic face, generic wrestler, generic. His body's the only thing that's not generic.
The segment had heat with Andre Chase, and then all of a sudden he comes down and just sucked the life out of the building.
You need to get Harland out there.
Yeah, you're right. Not Von Wagner. I don't know what they're doing.
Well, his name's gonna be Wagner if he ever makes it. I guess technically he was on the main roster.
He's just gonna be Vaughn. Watch it.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh man. But then of course the loss of the NXT Championship from Tommaso Ciampa last night has led to a lot of speculation. You guys told me earlier today that Tommaso Ciampa posted a tweet saying goodbye. Is that correct?
Thank you.
Oh wow. So
I think was it thank you or was it goodbye? It was one of the two. I can't remember now.
Well, let's just say thank you, goodbye. We'll cover our bases.
Yeah, it's one of those two.
That's not how it works. You can't just
providing you all the information here.
Only the best on the UnNamed Wrestling Podcast. But what did you guys think about that post? Like, is it the time for Ciampa to move on? Is he going Raw, SmackDown, somewhere else? What do you think?
Royal Rumble.
Ooh, I didn't even think about the Rumble. Holy cow.
I think it sucks that Johnny Gargano is not in the WWE anymore. I think Johnny Gargano is on another level towards Tommaso Ciampa, and I would like to see Tommaso Ciampa establish himself more maybe in AEW than WWE. I don't think he's going to get booked right here, especially after losing NXT the way NXT is here. He's just going to be a pushover. I have no doubt in my mind. I don't think they take him seriously. I don't think they like his look at all. And I just don't think they like Tommaso as much as people make it out to be. I know he gets opportunity because he's that last NXT guy, given that last match. And he had some great chemistry with Johnny Gargano. But if you think of the greatest NXT moments, you're thinking that match more because of Johnny than him, I would think. Some of the spots that he did. So I don't want to see him at Royal Rumble. I want to see him get paid lots of money and have a nice, successful life in AEW. That's what I want to see him. But I don't think it would work in the WWE. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope 2 years from now I come back and Tommaso's top guy and everything's Gucci, and people are like, "Oh, Botch Guy, you're such a fucking idiot," right? Right?
He reminds me a lot, and this might be a little out there, but a lot of a Dean Ambrose type of character where if they really run with him as a heel, I think he could be incredibly successful in the WWE. But as a babyface, he might reach the top one day if the fans truly get behind him, but he's most likely just going to be a perennial mid-carder who really doesn't make a ton of waves. His best moments came as a heel down in NXT when he turned. He's not that tall. He's actually a cruiserweight, if I'm not mistaken.
That's not
like work. He really has to run with his heel gimmick and the psycho killer gimmick that he once had if it's going to make an impact. He might very well retire. You know, he did say NXT was going to be where he finished his career. Yeah. Now, I don't think he expected it to come this soon with NXT 2.0, but he did say he wanted to finish his career in NXT, so he might end up retiring. Who knows?
Yeah, I see more of like a retire from WWE thing than I see release. I don't think he'll get released. I think he'll just say NXT's kind of done. I'm going to move on to something else.
Yeah, we will see, won't we? Let's change gear here a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about Alexa Bliss. We saw a promo for her on Monday Night Raw that she is returning, or the road to a return, or what exactly was it, CWrestling?
It's the journey. It's Alexa Bliss's journey back to Raw.
Okay, so we are going to see the return of Bliss. Now, where do you think this culminates? Rumble, CWrestling, or somewhere else? Yeah, Rumble?
I think she returns in the Royal Rumble match, if not maybe the Raw before.
Botch Guy, what about you? Where do you think this culminates? When does she come back?
She'll come out. She'll come back at Royal Rumble. I'll say this. I said this to see, like, I think she'll come out with her old gimmick. People are going to mark.
Which old gimmick? The
normal.
The one that she debuted on the main roster. Yeah, that one. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the 5 feet of fury gimmick or whatever it was.
And then
the goddess.
The goddess.
Yeah, the goddess. And then she's gonna transform in the middle of the ring into her new gimmick, probably with a lily mask or something. So she'll swerve everybody. I think that's what she's gonna do. I think it's like, here we go. I think it's monumentally stupid, the fact that they're doing a promo package for her before, or even leaking it, or hinting that she's going to be back, or it's telling people she's going to be back. I thought it would be way better if they kind of surprised her completely out of nowhere and Alexa Bliss pops up. I think that would have been way bigger reaction on social media. I think that would have been a bigger reaction everywhere. I think the hype would be better. I am so sick and tired of the WWE spoiling their own spoiler moments before they happen. And it's so annoying because WWE growing up, the moments that you remember the most are the big surprises of people popping up or the big matches with the crazy finishes. That's what you fudge and think about, okay? And I'm just sick and tired of, like, she's gonna be here next week. Can you imagine if The Rock, maybe The Rock's a bad example because The Rock is so big that the hype would be ridiculous anyway. But like, come on, like, imagine like we having the return of what's his name? Not Goldberg, the other guy who looks like him. Ryback, right? Like, who would care about Ryback if they announced?
Nobody cares about Ryback. We voted on Twitter to tell him to retire.
But if he popped up out of nowhere, people would care a little bit more.
For a week.
Is big enough that people care about her. But like, I think it would be way better if she popped out of nowhere or did something crazy.
Agree with you.
I'm sick of this, man.
Yeah, Botch Guy, I agree with you. And it's actually funny that you bring that up because we were having this conversation last night in the NXT live chat with a decent amount of people. And Eve from Eve Riot Girls of Wrestling came into the chat and kind of made a great point on this. The reason why WWE used to be able to get away with surprises and with people just coming back out of nowhere is because they were pulling in 4 to 6 million viewers. They had the viewership every single week. This time, we're looking at 1.5, 1.7 million viewers, and WWE is just desperately doing anything to get people to tune in. announcing things ahead of time, saying, hey, if you come here next week, you might see this. Now, they're not great at it because half the time they don't deliver, aka Veer. But, this is the reason why I think WWE is going down this path. As a fan, it sucks to see happen, right? Like, we like the surprises. We like watching WWE for that reason, and it could be a catch-22. People are maybe stopping watching WWE because there isn't surprises anymore. However, I think this is the reason why they're doing it.
I couldn't disagree with you two more. I think this is perfect for Alexa Bliss. I think Royal Rumble, you're potentially looking at Lacey Evans, Bayley, maybe even Ronda Rousey. And I think if you can't just do everyone the same cookie cutter, hey, look who's back kind of deal. And I think Alexa Bliss is a character that needs a story. It's one thing they got wrong with The Fiend is they relied too much on in-the-ring stuff and not the backstory. And I think Alexa, this journey thing, and this is like a little theory, okay? There's a thing called journey therapy for people who have a mental issue and they believe they're someone else. So it sounds plausible that maybe what we see is her attend therapy. And maybe the story is she gives up the Lily gimmick and comes back as a goddess. Or what if she's there seemingly making progress and then snaps?
Well, as long as Dr. Shelby's involved, that's all I care about.
Yeah. There's two ways they could go, and I think both of them are cool. But if you just re-debuted her in the Lily mask, everyone would say, well, why?
No, I agree with you on that one. I don't think I was saying it's a bad way to go necessarily. I think it's just the way WWE is going because they want to try to pop ratings right now. It'll be interesting to see what this is all about. I like your idea of it being potentially therapy. That would be unique.
Oh,
Botch Guy?
such a bad idea. Okay, my God, I never disagreed with C so much in my life. If they do a mental illness gimmick with Alexa Bliss and she's going to therapy, I swear to God, I think I might quit watching wrestling for like a month. That would be one of the
tell me what she was
stupidest
doing. No, you can't tell me what she was doing before she left was someone of stable mind. You can't tell me that she.
No, I understand, but you can't do a mental illness. You can't do a mental illness storyline. You can't.
You can. The whole Bray Wyatt storyline was a storyline based on split personality.
It's different the way they present it. You cannot have her be like, you know what, I'm struggling with this. I need to go talk to Dr. Shelby and get some help. I mean, no, C.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
Chat.
Because
yes or no?
Everyone in 2020. Oh, hold on. I've lost the connection. There we go. Right.
Exactly.
Everyone in 2022, right, thinks, okay, everything's got to be so cookie cutter, and you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't do this, you can't do that. But the truth is, sometimes you have to push the realm of reality.
Envelope.
Yes.
Push in another direction. There's things you don't touch. That's a thing you don't touch. I know. Someone just said.
I'm not sitting there saying she's depressed or anything along those lines. I'm sitting there saying that what has happened to her has been a traumatic experience. Meeting the Fiend has left her emotionally crumbled. Like, she is that kind of character where she put all her love into a doll because the Fiend made her believe this doll was with her forever. And now that doll is gone. She's now completely lost everything because that was everything to her. Now she needs to return. And the only way to do that is to go through therapy to hopefully become the real Alexa Bliss again. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. We'll find out.
You know how delicate of a story you have to like, do you know how delicate you have to be with that story to like not get completely demolished on social media and everything?
You get
like,
demolished
controversy
on social
creates
media
cash.
for saying boo to a goose.
Controversy creates cash.
What was that?
You get cancelled on social media now for saying boo to a goose. Literally, you can't. What was that? Who's that chick in NXT? Who is that chick in NXT?
What was that? I don't know that.
I kind of want to tweet out "boo to a goose" right now.
That's an old English saying. Genuinely.
Oh really? I've never heard that before.
But it's like you look at who's that woman in the NXT now who's like rich, who's got like the rich daddy.
It's Tiffany Stratton. That's it.
That's the one. Literally, she appeared 1 week and instantly Twitter cancelled her. We hate her. You can't do daddy's girl gimmick.
Daddy.
That's not right. Yeah, and it's like, well, what's wrong with doing that kind of gimmick?
It's
like,
called
those
heat.
people exist.
Oh, where's the Bully Ray heat?
I'm
meme
all
right now? That's
for
what I need.
heat. I'm all for heat. Okay, I like heat. I do think there's realms where you don't touch, and I for example, you don't touch doing like things like with the N word, for example, or the R word, for example, the hard R word, right? You don't touch things like that. I think mental illness is so delicate. Yes, you're right. You could do it in a way that it's respectful to the thing, but when this day and era, especially, mental illness is such a big, like I suffer a little bit of mental illness. I don't want to talk about it too much, but like it would be very delicate to me doing a storyline like that. It just depends on how they do it. So when I hear like therapy and stuff like that, I'm thinking, okay, you could do like, you know, her struggling with dual personalities. We've seen that before and thing, but I think you got to be very careful to not, I don't know, not humanize, but like I don't know how to explain it, but you got to be very careful with the storyline because it could become an absolute disaster, just from people's perception, social, you know, the social aspect of it, and also, you know, for her and her, I don't know. It's a very tricky one. Like I don't even know what to say anymore.
I think you have to be careful with every single storyline.
But that one
right?
specifically,
no doubt about
is
it's
I
touchy.
would just say there is no sign that is exactly what they're going to do. We'll find out Monday.
So it's
exactly.
definitely a touchy storyline for sure, right? But it's all about how you handle it, and it depends. You know, we could be sitting here in 3 weeks' time saying that was the most disgusting thing we've ever seen. We never want to see anything like that again. That was a swing and a miss. Don't touch it. Or we might be saying it's gold, or maybe it's something completely different than what we are discussing right now. I did tweet out "boo to a goose" if anybody wants to go favorite that. That's just a little. Just do it. Jason Barker over here dropped a $5 dono. Thank you very much, my friend. He's asking a question. Why did Kevin Owens call Sami Zayn his soulmate? Are they back on good terms?
Well, I don't know if you've seen, but there is a picture on social media right now of Kevin Owens kissing Seth Rollins. So
What?
don't tell Sami Zayn that one.
Oh no!
There is.
Yeah,
I'll send it to you after the thing.
They kissed on the show. Why didn't I make a video of that? I should have made a video on that.
Was that this past week? Or
it was on Raw.
Oh,
They
clearly
kissed.
had my head up my ass. I missed it.
He was running up the ramp and he kissed him. Yeah, I saw that.
Oh. And then Jason Barker also dropped another $5. Thank you, dude. You're dropping heat. He says, nowadays people are offended by the stupidest of things. People think math is okay and stuff like that. I don't. Okay. So it's definitely a sensitive topic. We'll see in time what ends up happening. We got one last little topic here that we want to talk about. Actually, sorry, 2 topics left here today before we get to the mailbag. Let's start with Bray Wyatt.
Running out of time. I'm running out of time.
Oh, we're running out of time? Okay.
I'm running out of time. You guys can go on. But
how long do you have, Botch Guy? We can move through
6
quick.
minutes.
6 minutes? Okay. Really quickly here.
No. You guys can do
No,
it's
Botch
okay.
Guy, just hear me out. Really quickly here. Speculation, okay? We're going to skip the Bray Wyatt stuff with the check mark. You guys can take a look at that at another time. AEW has a potential dream signing coming. Tony Khan has said it's his dream signing. So quick speculation from us here at the UnNamed Wrestling Podcast. Botch Guy, who do you think it might be?
Wait, what was the question?
Tony Khan's dream signing. Who do you think it is?
Probably Hardy.
Jeff Hardy?
Yeah.
And CWrestling, who do you think it might be?
I think it's Jeff Hardy, unless they've cloned Christian Cage.
That's right. This is very similar to Christian Cage, isn't it? The landscape shifting, groundbreaking signing of Christian Cage. Yeah. So Jeff Hardy, that makes a lot of sense. Possibly the Hardy Boys in AEW. Can you imagine some of the matchups that you would have there with that? Obviously, though, if it is Jeff Hardy, we hope he is well and we hope he is doing good. So really quickly before we end here, Botch Guy, what do you have coming up over on your channel?
There's more videos. I've been posting quite a bit of videos recently. I'm going to be having a story time soon here about Big E. I really want to talk about his story. I think it's just such a good story to tell right now. And really want to do something like that. But just more videos. Back to streaming kind of here and there. Just look out for it. And feel free to go on my channel. Leave me a subscribe. That would be great. And just help. Thanks for supporting my channel.
and CWrestling, what do you have going on over on your channel?
The next planned video is things you might have missed on Friday, and there could be Bray Wyatt videos depending what happens next.
Yes,
with him, so.
Depending on if Tony Khan's dream signing is maybe somehow Bray Wyatt. That would be incredible, but most likely Jeff Hardy. All right, my friends, thank you very much for watching. This is the UnNamed Wrestling Podcast. We're live every single Wednesday, sometime between 1 and 3 p.m. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. The link to Botch Guy and CWrestling's channel is down in the description, and you can find all three of us over on Twitter as well. So thank you very much for watching, my friends. We'll see you next week. But until then, I've been Khan, he's Botch, and he's CWrestling, and that was the UnNamed Wrestling Podcast.